Well, hey folks, how's everybody doing this evening? Let's see, who do we have in here? Ark Homestead and Skeeter Jackson. Welcome. Well, thought we'd talk a little bit tonight about sound. Editing videos is fun to do. All kinds of different editing programs out there, but to be realistic, if you put junk in, you get junk out. So the quality of your videos starts long before the editor. All kinds of different devices to create the videos, camcorders, SLRs, cell phones. There's even some knockoff action cams that are like 35 bucks that you can create decent videos with. The problem with most of those, including the rather expensive GoPro, is the microphone on the device is not the best. And you get a lot of maybe hiss, maybe background noise. If there's just a slight breeze and you're outside, you get this wind gushing noise. So the microphone plays a big part in it, but so does your settings. If you're sitting in a room or you're videoing in a room and the TV's on in the background, it's going to pick it up. It's going to hear that. You got kids playing in the other room, it's going to pick that up.
Susie's saying, so we can use a cheaper brand of GoPro and then do a voiceover.
Absolutely, you can do that. Yeah, if your goal is to do a voiceover, then the sound quality of the video doesn't matter if it's just going to be if you're going to do a voiceover. So let me I have a list created here, so let me pull this up for myself. Okay, and I didn't create this list. I gathered this from some various sources online here. What you want to do is you want to think outside. You have a question here, I guess.
Yeah, Bandana. What is the cheap action cam for $35 you were talking about?
You know, I can't even give you a name because they come with different names.
And Grandma Rose's Homestead says she got a cheaper version of the GoPro and the video was great, but she couldn't zoom at all and she didn't like the extreme wide angle. That's a downfall of a lot of those very tiny action cams, is they have almost a fisheye effect. The newer GoPros have a narrow vision and a wide vision. So they're better. In certain circumstances, they're absolutely wonderful, but they're not the go all do all camcorder. I'm not sure that anyone is that you could have. But even at Walmart, I think they have a Vivitar for 35, 40 bucks. The actual quality of the camera is not bad, but the sound's terrible. A lot of times you can greatly enhance the sound if the camera is capable by just simply plugging in an external mic. And the microphones do not have to necessarily be expensive. So let me go back to my list here. Simplest way to improve the recorded audio is to make a small investment in an external microphone. Now, having said that, when you say action cam, sorry, do you mean you can wear it on your body?
Some of them you can.
JM at the Net House, sorry. Okay, Mr. Raccoon. I just got
Sorry, Jen. I just got a GoPro 5. What do you think? It's still in the box. You should probably send it to us and let us try it for a while.
Yeah, we can do that.
And we'll give it back to you in March. How about that?
I think GoPros are wonderful little cameras. Having said that, everybody seems to complain about the audio that comes out of a GoPro. Everybody I know that has a GoPro has purchased external microphones that they plug into.
Just in time where it's a lapel external mic.
Yeah. Yeah. And those do not have to be very expensive. I'm going to say as cheap as $10 to $15, you can get a pretty decent or close range external microphone. A lapel type or just a small desk microphone. They don't have to be that expensive, and the sound quality is greatly improved. So we've briefly touched on some of the microphones, and that kind of leads into using the right tool for the right job. So now we're going back to GoPro cameras versus a phone versus an SLR or a camcorder. I guess it kind of depends on what you want to do. There are cell phone cameras that take wonderful videos, but again, they're limited to what you can do with them. And I'll go right back to Wrangler Star, for example. Used to use an iPhone. Excuse me. Used to use an iPhone for a lot of his videos. He no longer does that. He now has cameras we could all just.
Well, that's because now he makes money hand over fist. He doesn't have to use an iPhone.
Well, I don't know that that's the only reason.
Autumn just has a goldfish. Just-in-time prepping uses Power Director Pro for their editing.
Director Pro. I'm not familiar with that particular software. Okay, so it's using the right tool for the job. I keep getting distracted here for some reason. But
Well,
more questions?
Grandma Rose said, that's a problem, finding an inexpensive video camera with an input for an external mic. I ended up getting a Canon for a bit over $200.
A camcorder, I'm guessing. That's what she has. Probably a Vixia 700 or a 700 series or a Vixia 800 series.
And see, JM at the Nut House said, yeah, get the kinks worked out and then show her how to use it when we get there. And she said it had support for an external mic and a dead cat.
And a dead cat too.
I said we had two live ones outside, but
that's one thing I haven't purchased yet. Is a
I thought we had one of those.
Just like any business, you can put in 10 plus years and afford the upgrades. Absolutely. I'm guessing it's Doug.
Yep. And Bandana says she has an external mic recommended by Big Family that plugs into my earphone jack on the iPad Mini 2. It has a dead cat also.
And that's probably a Rode microphone, I'm guessing. They're pretty big into the microphones, audio. I have a couple examples that I want to get to here. And let me just bring this screen over. Okay. What I have here is I have some raw unedited video
from two different sources. Slightly different angle, but one of those was done with a camcorder, and the camcorder had an external mic, has a Rode external mic, the shotgun mic, and the other one is an iPhone with no enhancements whatsoever. So let's just grab the iPhone one to begin with.
Autumn wants to know. Autumn's in England, so there's definitely going to be a price difference. How much would a complete setup cost roughly? Desktop, mic, camera, and lighting. Oh my gosh, that's Cassie. I just saw the picture up there.
It can get to be very expensive. It doesn't have to. You can save money in a lot of ways. You don't have to buy big studio lights. They recommend that for indoor filming, you want to use as near a daylight bulbs as possible. And these have a Kelvin rating of roughly 5,500. Those bulbs cost a little bit. But you know, you can go to any big box store or discount store and get LED bulbs that have a 5,000 Kelvin rating, which is pretty close. Not quite, but not bad. Most people wouldn't be able to tell the difference. And those, just for the price of an LED bulb, you're looking at $3-4 or something like that. Put them in one of these little clamp-on lights that you can buy at the, again, the big box store or something for $2 or $3, maybe $7.99. I guess was the last price I saw. And place a couple of those strategically around what you're taking a video of. With a, if you don't have the external mic and you're using an iPhone or a phone, have the phone as close to the subjects as you can. The further away, the more area noise it's going to pick up. So the little video that I have up here, this is an iPhone. It's mounted on a short tripod. I have it angled up roughly 20 degrees. And it's probably, what would you say, 3 foot away from you guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was about 3 foot away. So there's been no yeah, that's good. There's been no editing done to this. This is just raw footage. I have not gotten to edit this yet, but this will give you an idea of the sound quality of the iPhone.
Short that one over here, pink, orange, peach. I don't even know. I just grabbed it.
When it refers to the appliance,
that's an appliance. What happened to the camera? It smells good. That's just berries.
The battery green.
You have enough. It's liquidy enough. Maybe instead of scooping it out with this, I can get the one from.
Oh, the glass. Yeah.
Okay, for the most part, pretty much the same view. This is from a camcorder that has a Rode shotgun mic attached to an external mic. I've not changed the volume settings here at all. And so this is what it sounds like.
I mean, within a day, there were some already getting moldy. So since our daughter-in-law was coming over today, I said, would you like to do make some jam and can some brownies in some jars? So this is Cassie's first time ever canning. And this is Anthony's mommy.
The loud one.
And Kaylee and Celia's stepmommy. We love her. She's a good kid. So
anyway, the microphone's actually further away, and yet the volume is tremendously higher. If anything, probably need to go back in editing this video, probably actually turn down the volume some so you prevent any clipping. With the iPhone, have to go in and have to turn it up, and that brings additional noise into your videos. So let's continue with my list here. You need to know what equipment you have. And I'm not saying go out and buy all the latest gadgets. The person that asked about how much would it cost to set that up, you could have a very decent, I'm going to say, working setup. Made it sound like indoor shooting is what she was talking about. If you want to go with a camcorder, probably $450, $500, which is less than the price of a lot of phones nowadays. Or if you wanted to get gung ho, you could easily spend $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000. So there's a huge range. You don't have to have the latest greatest to get a decent video. You just don't have to have it. The video quality of those two videos that I just showed you is pretty close to being the same, I would say. Now, it's not. If I were to blow them up big size, but nobody's doing that on YouTube. You don't need 4K recording. There's a lot of people that produce all their YouTube videos in just 720. All the videos that I do in 1080. To me, that's considered to be high definition. Now, 720 is also high definition. You just need to know what your equipment is and what it can do. You need to test with it. You need to just take it out and use it. Just do some practice things that you have absolutely no intention of ever publishing, but just to learn your equipment, to learn what it does if you're recording in the kitchen and your significant other down the hallway flushes the toilet. What's it sound like? You gonna hear it? Might want to know.
Bandana says when Daryl gets a break in his train of thought, I'd like to call him with a question that too hard to ask it typing.
Okay, so I'll open up the phone here in just a little bit. Background noise is another big thing, and I briefly mentioned this before. If the TV's on in the other room, shut it off. If the kids are 3 foot behind you on the floor playing, well, shoo them into the other room if you can. I mean, I'm not saying to abandon your kids in the back room and lock the door on them or something, but get a hold or get a handle on your background noise. What's going on? If you're the guy that you live beside is cutting down wood, well, you're probably going to pick it up on your video. It's not necessarily what you want. So it can either be done with some planning as far as different times of day. Lighting is also important, but just kind of sticking with sound primarily here tonight. You can do a lot with editing programs.
Filmora has some basic editing for sound. They have some noise reduction. They have different things like that. They do have an equalizer, but there's a lot of things you cannot get out.
Do you have your phone with you?
All right. Get back to my list. When you're editing, it would help tremendously to get some headphones or earbuds where you've got the sound wired into your head. You can do a much better job editing with either headphones or earbuds, something where the sound is coming right into you and you're not distracted by other background noises when you're editing. One of the things that you would want to do for outdoor shots where it's windy or something is, a lot of people call it a dead cat, but some sort of either foam or fur noise reduction that slips over the microphone and takes the wind noise out, so you don't have to attempt to edit it out. We did an interview with Tara, Living on a Time, at Lehman's a while back. We found a great location. It was outside. It was pergola?
Pergola, yeah.
Yeah, pergola. The trouble was, 30 foot away, there was an air conditioner running. It just had this, well, you know the sound air conditioner makes. And it was just there the whole time. There was no way to edit it out. A lot of cameras have what they call an automatic gain control, frequently abbreviated by AGC. And what this does, this tries to level out the sound. So things that come in loud, it tries to turn them down. Things that come in soft, it tries to turn them up. An inexpensive camera is not going to have a very good automatic gain control. So plan ahead of time. It's just like an inexpensive camera is not necessarily going to have very good image stabilization. It may say that it has some image stabilization, but that's what you pay for in the more expensive cameras is the things like the automatic gain control, the image stabilization, the smooth zooming. There are cameras out there that are wonderful cameras until you get to adjust them while you're filming. And if you want to zoom into a shot, you hear the camera just as it's doing that. So that's something else to keep in mind. Know your equipment. If that's the case, you just have to plan around it. You also have to know what you're filming. Is the person loud-spoken? Are they very soft-spoken? Try to think ahead of time what you have to do to get the best possible shot. So in other words, what you're doing is you're pre-editing this video, this clip, before it ever makes it into the camera. You want to know how far away they are. You know, how close do you have to be to them to get it suitable for what you want to do. So I guess I've talked a bunch. I know there's been a lot of questions come by. And I guess Susie has a question. So let me
Drop that phone line.
yeah, well, I have to get just a little bit ready here. All right. So I got the phone line open if somebody wants to call in, and we'll see what we can do with it. Just remember, you have to have your sound turned down, and if somebody's on the phone, I can only take one call at a time. So if you call while somebody is on the phone, I will just have to ignore that call. Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling?
Hi, it's Diane and Grandma.
Aha. How you doing, Susie?
I'm doing good. I do have a question.
Okay. I hope I have an answer. I'm going to try.
All right. Okay. When I am using Filmora and I have uploaded a bunch of different clips to put together into a movie, some of them will have my voice on it already. Some of them I will do a voiceover through Filmora. And when I go up to where I click on each clip and I look at the number on the sound, I set them all to the same sound number, like a 6 or an 8 or whatever I think sounds good. But when they play back, they're not even like I think they should be because they all got the same number. I guess because they were drawn from different audios to begin with, like voiceovers or pre-recorded. Does that make sense to you, and can you tell me what to do for that?
Okay. And yes, it does make sense. It's just like I mentioned before. If the proximity of a microphone to the subject is different, the volume will be different. So if you're recording one clip where you're 3 foot from the camera, that sound is going to be more intense than if you were 15 foot away. So,
all right, Daryl, over the phone, you're totally broken up, so I'm going to hang up and listen to you online.
okay.
Okay?
I guess I'm a little surprised.
Right.
It should be okay. All right. Okay. Her question was really very simple. She said when she edits her videos, she will put different clips together. She'll do some voiceovers. She will then go through, and for each section of the video, she'll set those to the same number, if you would. I'm not sure how exactly she's doing that, but I understand the question. And this is going to go back to the statement, what did you start with? What are you putting into the program that you're trying to get out? The different clips, depending upon how they were done, could be drastically different. If you are recording something and you're 3 foot away from the microphone, the volume is a lot more intense than if you were 15 foot away. Now that's based on the same camera. If it's different cameras, like what I just showed you here just a moment ago, then it's going to come down to the microphone. What I don't have to show you is what that camcorder is like without the external mic on it. But it's somewhere in between what the two extremes that you heard there. Susie says that when she puts these clips in here, she'll go through and take each clip and set the sound to the same number. And her reasoning behind that is, well, they'll all be equal then. But that's not the case. And I think the easiest way to show that, let me see if I can do that here. put this clip in the timeline. See if I can. I think I can make this any bigger for you folks. I'm going to detach the audio, it might show it a little bit better. I'm going to stretch it out. I know this is very difficult for you guys to see on here. Let me try something else here. Okay, this is a sound editing program is what this is. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you what the sound looks like. So and I'm just gonna use some music. This is the thing we use in most of our videos. What you're looking at here is what the sound looks like in a waveform pattern that as it's seen on a computer. And we'll just play this, you'll all recognize it. Okay. The only reason I brought this up because it's big enough you can see it. The to make this bigger. The center part of this is the main body of the sound. And then for every peak, there's a valley. And if they go beyond the restraint here, then it does what's called clipping. This is where the sound is louder than what most systems can handle. Put that way, and it gives a crackling sound, and it tends to break up. If I turn this, and I've just turned it down here some. I've turned it down 15 decibels. Now let me open a different one. This one looks a lot different. I'm going to turn this down 15 dB. Because in essence, this is what Susie was talking about. And I certainly understand what she's saying. You would think, okay, I'll set this one at minus 15 and set the next one at minus 15. They'll be the same. But listen to this. You can see by the two here, there's a huge difference. If I bring it back up, the whole point is, and the only reason I opened that up was so you could actually see what the sound looked like. You can't arbitrarily just set it to the same sound. You're going to have to use your ears, and you're going to have to adjust accordingly. You could have a sound meter outside that you played into and adjust it that way. That could be done. But every clip would take its own little bit of tweaking. So, Susie, did that answer your question? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Yes. So no automatic button to set a certain loudness.
No, ma'am. No, there is not. There are multiple ways to adjust the volume, and we'll go ahead and go over that here. Quick. Grab one of these files. I can go into the master audio mixer and play this.
Take this. It is hot, guys. Don't touch it with your hands like I just did.
And I can turn down.
Right.
Master control on everything on that line. Everything in this timeline is adjusted with this master control. But if I have a separate clip in there, and here, let's do it this way. We'll, I may not have left enough in there. I need to get more sample here. Okay. You can't even hear it. Let me get this back up. Okay, so this is pretty much stock. The first clip is the iPhone. The second part of the clip where it changes. And let me do this. So the iPhone will go to the orange blank, and then it will be the camcorder.
And some brownies in some jars. So this is Cassie's first time ever canning. And, excuse me, see? Old. They have to be smashed. So that's what she's doing. She smushed them all up.
With a tater masher.
Yep. So we're supposed to get full cups. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and put that. I'm gonna get it. Okay. We also have the lids and the rings on the burner back here.
Okay, if I go into...
All right. Steve, South Homestead just came in.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. Hi, Daryl. It's Jedediah.
So, if I go into this and I change the volume in the master setting, it's going to change everything on that timeline. So, if I turn this up, let's say for this first part where it sounds good.
Take 15. We haven't done any takes yet.
When it gets over to this part,
We're in Ball brand real food classic. Okay.
it's way too loud. So you have to edit them separately. So we'll come into this one, go into audio. We'll take the volume and we'll cut it down considerably.
Okay, well, because
Biddy Boo wants to know why it sounds like we're in a well.
Well, unfortunately, that's because of the way I have it coming through here. Let me see if I can eliminate that.
do it all. So we rinsed the strawberries and they have raspberries, excuse me, see? Old. They have to be smashed, so that's what she's doing. She smushed them all up.
With a tater masher.
Yep. So we're supposed to get full cups. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and put that. I'm gonna get it. Okay. We also have the lids and the rings on the burner back here, keeping them in a nice warm water for when we're ready to.
Okay, so at that point, those are pretty close to being equal.
You don't know if you can use editing software like this for filming using a GoPro.
Absolutely. Sure can. Now, if I can do it that way, or I can put this back to 0 where it's loud. Let me see where I have my But pretty much stock all the way across the board. I showed you here how we went through and we turned down the one from the camcorder. Just to show you here that they're quite different again.
Excuse me, see? Old. They
This
have
is the
to be
iPhone.
smashed. So she's doing, she smushed them all up.
With a tater masher.
Yep. So we're supposed to get full cups. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and put that.
And then the camcorder.
I'm gonna get it. Okay. We also have the lids and the rings on the burner back here.
So what I can do, instead of turning this one down, is I can go in and edit this one and turn it up. And I'm just kind of guessing on where to start with. Obviously, it's easy enough to change.
Loudly.
And Kaylee says, "Stop, Mommy." Fast. So that's what she's doing. She smushed them all up.
With a tater masher.
Yep. So we're supposed to get full cups. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and put that.
I'm gonna get it. Okay. We also have the lids and the rings.
Okay, to my ears, the camcorder is still a little bit louder, so we'll come back and we'll crank up the iPhone a little bit more.
I say there was a lot of reverb.
This may help tremendously. Let's try this.
With a tater masher.
Yep. So we're supposed to get full cups. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and put that.
I'm gonna get it though. Okay. We also have the lids and the rings on the burner back here.
Raspberries, excuse me. See?
I don't think you should have any reverb at all now.
They have to be smashed.
I apologize
so
for that.
She's doing. She
I mashed
smushed them all up.
With a tater masher.
Yep. So we're supposed to get 4 cups. I don't know if we will, but we'll see. I'll go ahead and put that.
I'm gonna get it though. Okay. We also have the lids and the rings on the burner back here,
volume-wise.
keeping them in a nice warm water when we're ready to put the lids on. I have also my
But otherwise, it's
Fresh Tech water bath canner over on the other counter, heating up, and that's what we will. I almost forgot that I had that, so that way we don't even have to.
Thanks, Susie. What was happening is I had it playing externally here. It was coming back through the microphone, so you were getting a double single. So I just turned off the external sound. And I didn't notice it because I had my my headphones on, like I do. And I just didn't notice it was playing externally, so that should be much, much better. And again, it's very easy to hear the difference now between those two. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? I'm sure that it is video view. It's much better. Maybe I should start over. We'll just start over tonight. Okay, but in essence, where we started so you can hear it better. This is it just so that everything is cleared out. We'll go ahead and close the program out. Bring it back up. Which everything will open up at defaults.
Are there any specifications laptop needs to make videos for software and such?
Okay, you're
Victoria, that's his daughter. That's Heather.
You're talking as far as the power in the laptop, is that where the question's going?
Mm-hmm.
It's editing is CPU intensive on your computer. CPU and memory intensive. The more memory you have and the more processing power you have, the better off you are. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, said when they put their videos in and they played it back editing the sound, the audio and the vocal didn't match. It was out of sync. And that's bottom line, that's because their computer couldn't handle everything going on. If you go ahead and produce the video, it's fine. It's all back in sync. But as far as while it's in memory on your computer, it's trying to process between the graphics, the sound, everything that's in memory from editing the video, turning things up, turning things down, cutting sections out of video clips, sewing things together. It will do that. It's especially bad if you take a section of a clip and want to increase the speed. And we can probably do that here a little bit. I'm going to cut this here, and I'm going to cut it here. And this center part, I'm going to increase the speed. Well, maybe not 100 times. Just increase it. Well, let's not go crazy. Say roughly 10 times. Well, just so you hear it.
Yeah, you have my. That's just you'll ever see me move. What does it say? You need
butter,
okay.
5 cups sugar.
We have the sugar and we have a measuring cup. And how much of the pectin?
All right, you can see that it's definitely way out of sync at this point.
Yeah, that's a big tablespoon.
Okay. So the instructions are on the other side for you, is that correct?
Yes.
And now it is synced back up.
Holy crap.
I have a relatively decent size computer that I'm using here. It's an i7. It's a quad core processor. It has 12 gig of memory. Has a solid state drive in it. So it's not a slouch. It's actually considered to be a mild gaming computer. And even with it, by increasing that small section of the video roughly 10 times, it threw everything out of sync and took it another 30 seconds to get back in sync. So I'm going to say your typical laptop that you would pick up at a big box store or something would be considerably different. It would take it a lot longer to get back into sync. What you can do, and again, just for the demonstration here, we'll cut this, get rid of this, cut some out of the front here, get rid of it. Wait a minute, what did I just do?
You have, what does it say? You need.
There we go. All right, I got ahead of myself.
Jen wants you to dumb that down for her. Mr. Raccoon, you are hereby named Miss Raccoon from now and forever. How much to buy a decent one?
Start at $1,200 to $1,500. Now keep in mind, this is not only running the editor now, but it also has some other programs running in the background. And obviously, it's doing the OBS in the background. I'm running a software, a vocal software enhancement program on it, as well as other recording devices. So it's the computer's doing a fair amount. And I'm sure I'm going to get questions. Well, what is it you're doing with the audio? So let me bring that over. This is a program called the Voice Meter Banana, and it is a virtual audio mixer. If you notice in this first column here, as I'm talking, you're seeing this going up and down. My microphone is plugged into this column, and I can control the volume here. If I want to, I can mute it. I can channel the sound out to any other output that I want. It has 5 inputs, 3 physical and 2 virtual, and I can control how it goes out. These are my 5 outputs over here. So I have them labeled as such. So the microphone here, and then if I want it to be broadcast to you guys, I have to have it ported over to B2. And that's because the OBS software is in B2. If I turn this on, hearing me until I turn it back on, and now you will be able to hear me. The A settings, the A1, that's my headphones. If I turn it on to A2, that's my external speakers. That's where you guys were getting the reverb and everything before, was because I had this on A2, and because it was coming out of my speakers, going back in through my microphone, and that was being sent to OBS twice. That's why you were getting such a reverb.
Dan says hers is not a gaming one, but it's 4 years old and slow as molasses in January.
I feel for you. I understand. The worst thing about computers, and I have a computer background. The worst thing about them is, as soon as you buy one, it's already outdated. Because the next latest and greatest thing is already out. That's not affordable for most people. You can get into the war on Apple machines versus PCs, and not to go real deep into this, but let me just state it in this way: Apple controls their hardware as well as the software.
Yeah.
So you can't buy an Apple and run Windows on it. Now, I'm going to stop here for just a moment because I know that there's virtual programs. You can do all this kind of stuff, and you can run Apple programs on a PC in the virtual world. Outside the virtual world, I'm talking about just your hard computer. Apple controls everything on that computer. In the PC world, it's not that way. You have an operating system called Windows, most likely. There could be some in the room here that's running Linux or some other flavor of an operating system. But for the most part, let's just say it's Windows. Windows as an operating system is designed to be extremely flexible so that it can run on Dell equipment. It can run on HP. It can run on, help me, what's some of the other ones? He's not helping me.
No.
My boat is out in the water and I've lost my oar.
Rusty says Linux.
Linux,
yeah.
Yep.
Jen knows nothing about Apple, only PC, and that's minimal. I'm with you on that. The only Apple thing that I have is my phone, and that's because Daryl forced me to get one. B Lady's asking, is there some way to speed up a slow computer? And also with that, because this pretty much goes with that, Susie is asking, is there a certain cleanup procedure we should be doing regularly without being sucked into a hacker program? And I know we've always had two different programs that we could run that were free.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, hackers are like trolls. They show up at the worst time. And we're getting into some really far out subjects here. We use a program called Malwarebytes. It can be purchased, but there is a free version that works quite well. There's a couple of other programs. There's a CC Cleaner, which will clean the registry and temp files and stuff off your machine. While these are all good, they're not magic.
Lady says, no computer I am ever on is ever in their control because I can't even control it. Yeah, that's right, B Lady. You do have a new Apple, don't you? I have some out on my counter, or Matsu, but I can't type on them. Put them up and eat them.
Well, chances are.
And Elizabeth wants to know what your opinion of Norton is.
Norton is okay. There's we're using what?
Yes, starts with a K. Yeah.
Kaspersky. AVG is another one.
there's a lot of antivirus programs, and some of the purists will tell you, well, you've got to run an antivirus program to keep up with your antivirus program, so you got to run 2 or 3 or 4 different ones on your machine. You can go to the point of being crazy. The best thing to do, in my opinion, is stay away from places that are questionable. Don't open emails you don't know what's in it. Don't open attachments. Don't just double click on links. Look and see where it's going to go first. There are some good programs you can put on both PCs and Apples that will turn your system back in time. So if you do venture into bad territory and you're hijacked, it can turn it back. The problem is you got to set those every time. You got to, again, you have to know what you're doing. As far as getting a machine to run faster, I'm going to bow out to the Geek Squad probably. That's probably one of your best bets, is to just take it into your local computer guru, be it Geek Squad, be it a computer shop, be it somebody local that they live and breathe computers, and they should be able to help you. Now, I mentioned Geek Squad because it's part of Best Buy. It's well known. Am I saying they're the best? Absolutely not. But they obviously have to maintain certain qualifications, I guess, just to get in the store. And every store is going to be different than the other store. I mean, some may be very good and some may be not so good. Same way with your local PC shop. If you've got a guy that's been selling PCs in your town, in your area or something for the past 10, 12 years, he's had a full-time business doing it, and he's doing well, he probably knows pretty much what he's doing. If this is a guy that does it part-time and he's taken a couple programming classes in college or whatever, or he's a big gamer or goes into crazy things like that, and he just opened up his shop last week, that's probably not who I'd want to go to. And I'm not putting down the person that referred to as a gamer. I mean, these guys are usually pretty darn sharp. They'll get in and they'll tweak their systems to no end. They'll overclock them. They'll run them harder than they should be run. Put in all types of extra cooling.
Coco said, thank you for guiding them to go to Best Buy. Their 8 gig upgrade cost $100 less than they expected.
Right. Okay. Can you check the email or something, or do you know what that's about?
Yeah, they want to be on live stream.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think we're booked up through March. Anything after March 5th?
Well, March 11th is. We are not going to be.
We are not going to be here March 11th. You're right.
Yeah, we'll make the announcement tonight. We're going to do it on a live show, but we'll just make it tonight. March 11th. Actually, March 12th. Right? Will be Monday.
Yes, Monday, March 12th.
March 12th will be the first time since the inception of our Monday Night Live we are not going to be able to do it.
Rusty, February 9th is a Friday. How do I know who we have? It's on my calendar, it's a Friday.
So March the 12th.
We'll do Biddy Boo.
We will not be doing a Monday Night Live show. However, and
there's a whole lot of ifs here. We will be in Mississippi on the 11th, and probably in transit on the 12th.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the 11th, we will be in Mississippi, visiting with that fellow down there that does the dehydrated water. And if all goes well, we hope to be able to do some live streaming on the 11th, and maybe even do a mini version of a Monday Night Live special Sunday edition type thing.
Yep.
And actually interview some of the different channels that are going to be there.
Rusty and JM at the Nut House.
Yeah, JM and the Nut House is supposed to be there.
Rusty and his wife and his boys are going to be there.
And Living on a Dime is supposed to be there, and J&J Acres, and Alderman Farms, and 7D Farms.
This has turned in from a meetup to a conference. What you think, JM? Oh, speaking of which, JM says, what do you think about Trend Micro for anti-spyware?
Trend Micro, I know, has a very good antivirus program.
And the B lady says, Daryl, someone told me all the time that critical system alert is on. They can read your PC info.
Well, I heard a thing on the radio today that virtually every PC that has an Intel processor in it has a backdoor that somebody is subject to be able to read and gather your private information. And of course, they're selling you a service to protect your identity. They didn't want your identity to be stolen. So those are the doom and gloom people that are going to advertise all this. If you want your computer to be safe, you do not connect it to the internet. You do not put it on any type of wireless device. It's just not connected. It's sitting alone all by itself in a dark little room, not plugged in, and it's fine. It'll never get a virus. But that's not practical. So, where are we at? What do we want to do? I'll get rid of this. Move that over to the other monitor here. Oh, I know what we were doing. What I started to do. This was just to be a demonstration here on how it loses time, loses its sync.
Yeah, you have my.
I forget I was doing this with the iPhone one, so I'll turn it up a little. Let's go back.
Okay, Finger Lake said when his daughter was 3, she put a slice of ham and cheese in the CD drawer. What does it say? You need
butter.
Okay.
5 cups
All right,
sugar.
as you can see
sugar,
here,
and we have a measuring cup.
the sound is normal again,
And how
but we're
much of the
still in
pectin?
the fast motion on the video
Is that on
because
here? Oh, 4.5
my computer wasn't
tables-
able to keep
yeah,
up video-wise
tablespoons.
with the sound.
Okay.
It should
So
catch back up
the
again here very
instructions are on the other
shortly.
side for you. Is that correct?
Yes. Holy crap.
And right
Sorry.
now it's caught back up again. So if I come in here and I render this timeline, this will take just a couple minutes, so we'll go ahead and see if we have any other questions out here. Yeah, folks, I see that it's run over an hour, and I apologize. I just want to run this through real quick, just to show you how pre-rendering it increases the ability to remain in sync tremendously. And then we'll call it an evening. Okay, so now we'll play it.
I have a 2-cup and a 4-cup like that.
So if I could just go to the
you got it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's
in.
gonna. And if it doesn't, well, we'll wait and we'll make believe you're mashing it. Okay, you have my. What does it say? You need.
And if you notice,
butter,
it's all caught up
5 cup sugar.
We have the
right
sugar,
now, and
we
that's
have the
that's
measuring
by
cup,
pre-rendering the
and how much of the
timeline.
pectin?
Dan says, thank
Where's
you,
that
Daryl,
on
for
here?
answering
Oh,
my question.
4 and a
I'm
half
still your favorite
tables.
student.
Yeah, that's a B. Table of things.
Okay. So the instructions are on the other
Did you
side.
notice
for you,
me, Dan?
is that
He's
correct?
stuttering.
Yes. Holy crap. Sorry.
Oh, wait a minute. Is who my favorite student? I couldn't see it.
Bandana.
Well, sure, Bandana's my favorite student.
Her and her fairies.
Her and her fairies.
And her elves.
Her elves and fairies. So, I hope you got a little bit out of this tonight.
Jen says, thank you so much for answering my questions. I need a new computer and now I can get started.
If you're looking at something, you can send me the model and what it is, and you have no reason to trust anything I say, but I would be more than happy to share an opinion with you. Or if there is something comparable that you might want to look at in place of that one, or in the same price bracket or something. There's
Yeah, did I tell you she's the one that lives in the same city that Dawn does?
yeah.
Her daughter and Dawn's son go to school together. Both graduating this year.
And I will not offer any advice on an apple. My rock doesn't include apples. All right. So you folks all know the email. If you have some questions, if you have a topic you want to talk about next week, Pete Lady, apple is okay, but
Raspberry jam, Rusty.
an apple is not part of the business world in computers. It's for teachers and preachers. So, Apple does wonderful at graphics. It does wonderful at some things, but it is not part of the business world. When I say business, I'm talking.
See there, Rusty says apple is okay in pie.
It's okay in pie, absolutely.
And sales geeks, there you go. Yeah, she's a teacher and she can preach too.
Then the apple fits you. That's what more can I say?
Can sing, we know that.
Yeah.
Rusty, I want to see a picture of you after you do a snow angel.
Okay. So, if there are no more questions, looks like everybody wants to have a piece of pie. Good use for apples.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't care if it's a big old angel. I want to see a picture of you after you've done your snow angel.
All right. So we will see you all next week. Next Monday night we have, who do we have? Canning Nana, I think.
Diane, the Canning Nana.
Yeah.
You're right.
Canning Nana will be on next Monday night. And in the interim.
And then February 5th, the first Monday in February, is MIgardener.
MIgardener's coming up.
MIgardener.
A couple weeks here. So, in the interim, I'm going to try to get some of this video that we've played with here tonight. We're going to see if we can get that spliced together and in some sort of a viewable format and
you
throw
doing
that
apple
up.
pie next Monday, Bee Lady? Awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping that we get a good crowd.
Yeah, people can start advertising that now.
Yeah.
That would be great.
First Monday in February, 9 p.m. Monday.
Without question, that will be the biggest channel we've ever had the pleasure of having on.
The 26th of February is Jerry the Blind Mama, and 19th Coco and Noah's Ark. We're having one of your state people. We're having Renee, Little Mountain Homestead. Grandpa's Place will be here on the 12th.
That should be a real good show.
Yeah, we have a good lineup for February.
Now Grandpa's Place, he's one of these Linux guys. Does not use Windows. So, all right.
Ooh, wow! Given a bushel of apples from Trader Joe's. Whoa.
Okay.
Everyone have a great evening. Talk with you through the week, and we'll see you next Monday night when Diane the Canning Nana is here.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for stopping in. Bye-bye.